blood, barbarity, and murder. At face value, Cleon Peterson's work seems to portray the mind of a serial killer. But look a little bit closer, and you might recognize a small part of yourself in his paintings. Born in Seattle in 1973, Cleon started painting at a very young age, and he held his first solo exhibition at the age of just 15. Much of his work draws on psychologist Carl Jung's shadow theory, which says that we all have dual personas. A rational side we reveal to the world, and a shadowy side. The cruel, merciless, irrational self that we are too scared to face. And that's exactly what Cleon's paintings seem to do. In a way, it forces the viewer to ponder whether deep within us is a dormant capacity for violence and moral corruption.
It's a pleasure hosting you on our show. Thank you so much for joining us. My first question is, I wonder where you get your inspiration from. I mean, does everyday politics inspire and inform your work?
I mean, I live in the United States, and we're surrounded by politics and a kind of media warfare, I think, like in our politics, and so I think it does every day. I made work originally about like being a person that was in the jail and on the streets and everything, and that led into me being kind of empathetic towards people that were marginalized and people that had been thrown away by society. That kind of led me into thinking about the ongoing wars that the United States had been put into, or had been involved with, and the kind of apathy that the people living in the United States felt. And so I tried to relate to that and make work about power and violence and things like that. And I mean, it's all about structures of oppression and things in that nature, I guess.
And do you believe in the power of art to change things, really?
I do, because I think people relate to work that you're making. I think they see their stories in it. I think that it can motivate people to have some kind of empathy towards other people in the world. And actually, it's like a mirror that allows one to like see how their actions are affecting others.
So, okay, let's frame this. I mean, a painting in a white cube gallery, how can it actually change something in the society, let's say about police brutality, referring to your exhibition Stare into the Sun? How can it actually happen?
Because the people that are living in the world are experiencing the world, and then they're coming into the space, and there's a power in art that it's like me putting my ideas up on the wall and them almost having a meditation on how they fit into the world and how they act in the world. And I think that I mean, there's a few ways in which people can change things. But the first way, I mean, they can change things as large groups and protests or something like that, but they can, or through wars or something like that, but they can also, all these changes, like say, happen from the individual.
Mm-hmm.
So they all start somewhere.
Empathy could be the key word here. I mean, trying to understand what kind of experiences these people are going through. So in your exhibition in Plevneli Gallery at the moment, Stare into the Sun, there are black and white characters, figures. So I could read this quite literal, of course, because there is brutality and violence and etc. But would I be mistaken doing this? Because I think you're referring to Carl Jung's conception of the shadow in these, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm talking about the dark side and the light side within all of us. And I think it's important for us to identify that we all have the potential for the dark side or this evil, and that we can be kind of complicit in the action even when we don't know that we are, just by the personal things that we do, like on an everyday level. And that's why I think it's important for people to kind of be able to have stillness and to think about where they're doing and how their actions are affecting other people and the world that they're in.
I mean, we definitely all do have a capacity for violence. Cleon Peterson, it's great to have you on our show today. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, this is all the time we have.
Thank you so much.